Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be more of like a little story time, talk with me, chill for a second. Probably should have put this in the corner of the room. I do that actually. Un momento. Okay, I can't even explain how long that took for me to set up. Like, I'm in the corner of my room now. I was like, let me just try to do it in a fresh little spot, you know, switch it up for a minute. But then that took me at least like 15-20 minutes just to organize it. And I'm in like spider infested areas in places of my room where I'm like, is that a hair or an arachnid? Because I'm really stressing. Yeah, anyway, but we're gonna get this going. Let's talk, let's chat about life things, right? One thing that I've really been trying to regain is my self-confidence, and also try to basically get over my anxiety that I never really noticed that I did have. At least like when I was a kid, it was there, it was always evident, but I never could pinpoint exactly what it was. I just thought it was like nervousness and shyness, but it was basically fear of anything. And that's a loose term, I want to say, not anything, because I was fearless in some aspects. Obviously as a child, you want to have fun, you want to explore things, so I wasn't scared in the sense of like adventure, because that wasn't necessarily my fear, because I did like climbing on top of slides. I got stitches in my chin when I was in kindergarten. Like, I broke my arm when I was in first grade from riding my bike. I was all about having fun, but it was more about the social aspect. That's what I was more afraid of. I was afraid of talking to people. I was extremely comfortable with being by myself too. So it was hard for me to really get to know other kids if I wasn't in the environment to do so. And it's not like I was homeschooled or anything like that. I went to preschool, so I had kids all around me at that point. I had friends in elementary school, so it was just, I always had some sort of like anxiety when it came to, and it's still hard for me to really pinpoint and verbalize it. And I'm sorry, I keep saying which is really annoying. Growing up, just thinking about, for example, going to summer camp. Like, so there's this camp that I went to, that my best friend, I forgot how old we were in elementary school though, she had gone there first, so I was like, oh, okay. Since she's going there, I'll go. And that was basically how I navigated through my childhood. I was like, oh, my friends are doing it? Cool, then I'll do this activity, unless it was something that I thought was like stupid or illegal or I was gonna get in trouble. I was like, I don't wanna be a part of this until I got to a certain age. But generally, as a kid, I was like, okay, if they're doing something that looks like it's fun and I can enjoy, then I'll do it with them. But it was never like purely out of me just wanting to do it for myself. And that didn't happen until I got a little bit more mature and started noticing these things. So yeah, like starting this summer camp, for example, there was one day where she didn't go, and this was in the time where there wasn't cell phones. When I was maybe, I want to say like 7 or 8, kids didn't have MySpace. So MySpace was a thing, Facebook didn't exist. Yeah, we can message each other and be like, hey, I'm not coming to summer camp today, so don't show up if you don't want to talk to anybody other than me. So since that happened, I showed up by myself, and I don't think my sister was there because I was heavily reliant on her as well, considering she and I were always together, like attached at the hip. So it was always easier because she was always there, and since she was always there, it didn't matter if I didn't know anybody else, because as long as my sister's with me, or at least somebody I know was with me. When I was at the summer camp and I realized my friend wasn't there, I'm by myself, I didn't know anyone, it then forced me to I was so anxious about, I wanted to cry, frankly, just because I was like, I don't have anyone to relate to, I don't have anyone to talk to. I felt so alone, because I didn't know anyone, and I was afraid of just getting over myself, frankly, and going up and talking to people. And it scared me, the idea of social interaction, and it's sad because even as a kid, having those feelings, and like, you're a kid, you should be able to just go up to any other kid and say, hi, I'm so-and-so, can I hang out with you? Because my friend's not here. So that was that, and I didn't really understand what that was until I got older. So yes, now that brings me kind of to where I am now, which is in the last year, I've been going like in and out of depression or feeling types of depression. I don't know. I was technically diagnosed with depression a couple years ago, and I wasn't too, I mean, I guess I was heavily in denial because, well, I wasn't, kind of, yeah, I was slightly in denial in the sense where I knew that the depression was clearly a factor, I didn't want to admit that it was necessarily a factor, and I didn't want to admit it to the extent of actually researching and seeing what type of depression I may have, and also ways to treat it. So it wasn't until recently that I've decided, okay, let me just try to face it and deal with it and overcome it, kick its ass, because frankly I have too much shit to do. Like, I can't let this just let me sit at home and be sad all the time. Like, this is not a way to live. So this last year I've been dealing with these bouts of depression, tons of anxiety, of just really not trusting myself, not necessarily not trusting myself, but not trusting my journey, where I'm at in life, the steps I need to take in order to progress. Just self-confidence, believing in myself for one thing. Like, I didn't think that I deserved it. And because I had all of these negative thoughts that just kept racing through my mind, like, I couldn't stop it. It obviously began to like take a toll on me, and the way that I pursued opportunities, the way that I saw myself in my career, the way that I even talked to people that I would normally talk to, or just meeting new people in general. So I thought of myself as much less than I actually am. So because of that, and because I'm trying to turn this new leaf, and I have been for the last like few months, it wasn't even just like a new year, new me, 2018 situation, because I mean, that's part of it, because a new year, clean slate, all that shit, but it's also because I want to do better in all aspects of my life. I want to be a better person, make more of an effort than I have in the past, because I let mental illness affect me. So this is a very long intro to them. This isn't even the main story. So yes, recently, upon my return to Los Angeles, I was talking to my boyfriend, Charles. We're talking about getting back into the gym and fitness, because we were really hitting it hard. I was killing it. I was so proud of myself. I'm doing cardio, weights, CrossFit shit. Like, yo girl was getting it right, and even to the point where I was actually seeing abs come through. Like, your girl was killing it. But then we had to move, then Christmas came, we went, and then we had a ski holiday, lots of food, lots of food and chocolate. And absolutely no working out, except for snowboarding. Snowboarding was fine, did that. That's a workout. Like, that is a workout. Didn't even attempt to afterwards. For like the last week of me being in London, I did not even try to go to the gym. Since me being back, we were talking about let's hit it hard, let's get back in it. But gyms in Los Angeles have been fucking expensive. And I really, like, okay, so one thing that they are abundant in, so it may be expensive gym-wise, but they are abundant in studios. Dance being one of them. I used to dance when I was in high school. I started dancing my freshman year of high school because my sister was dancing her sophomore year of high school, which was my freshman year, and she was doing that instead of PE, so I was like, I don't want to take PE, I'd rather dance. Did dance, really liked it, was oddly good at it, better at it than I had anticipated. So I did that. I did like half a year, which is complicated. It's a different story. I did half of a year of the dance team my junior year, and then my senior year I was in the advanced class, and then yeah, I loved it. But my senior year I had auditioned and applied for the acting school that I went to, and that acting school had one dance class, I think the first year they had two dance classes one dance class per semester, and that class was once a week, maybe twice, but I'm pretty sure, it might have been twice, I could be wrong, but it could have been twice a week. Either way, I was not doing it nearly as much as I had done when I was in high school, because at least in high school I was doing classes or taking a class every single day, because for an hour a day, and then on top of that we had shows, and when I was on the competition team, we were doing not only competition stuff, but then we were doing performances for the high school, like rallies, and then also football games and stuff. So I was always doing classes. We had like summer intensives. Your girl was getting it, like I said. So then obviously when I went to college it was completely different, because it was mainly focused on acting. So I had maybe about a third, not even, of the amount of training, and most of it was very basic technical aspects, or it was period piece work, so like a waltz or some Renaissance something. So So because of that, I got a little rusty. I hadn't really taken any classes outside of school anyway, because I was working so much and going to school just as much as I was working, if not more. So it was intense on top of the workload, and basically stopped entirely after I graduated college. Then after college, I did the theater company that I was in for school, but absolutely no classes as far as dance was concerned. I didn't have time for it, couldn't afford it. I was like, this is not, I would love to, but the way my bank account's set up. Even after graduation, even after the company that I did book like 2 gigs, both of which were music videos for dance related things, like as a backup dancer. How is unbeknownst to me. One of them might have just been like a friend like me, but then she also said that the artist liked my energy and how so performance is key, y'all, even if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And then the second one, I feel like they just needed somebody, really. And then I happened to be there, so I don't remember auditioning, but I went, did it, I somehow figured it out, faked it till I made it, and attempted to, but the video never released, so I don't know if that was part of that. So after that, I haven't taken an actual class for technique, for any combo, any memorization, any dance related, nothing like that, nothing of the sort, nothing with like a cross force or anything like that in about like 4.5 years. So I said to boyfriend, I said, Charles, should I, or what about if instead of going to the gym, because you know how much I love the gym. Okay, I mean, I may bitch about it, frankly, I will bitch about the gym, but in all honesty, I don't mind, because like I said, the whole anxiety, don't want to talk to people, be in that environment, you know, at least the gym, everyone's about themselves. No one's really worried about what you're doing, unless you make yourself look like a complete idiot. And I've brushed up enough at the gym and built my level of confidence there to the point where I could go by myself and be completely fine and feel independent, you know? With that being said, I said, well, okay, because you know how much I love the gym, why don't I just start doing dance again? Because, you know, I miss it. It's been a while. It's a nice form of exercise. It's something I enjoy doing. So why don't I just start getting back into that? And he was like, oh yeah, you know, good idea. Why don't you, sounds like a good shout, English. And yeah, he said, why not just look up some studios? So I looked up some. So I found a studio in LA. I decided, so they have different packages and stuff for classes you want to take. So I basically just went all in for like 20 classes. And I found a heels class. It's like, why don't I try to be like saucy and sexy and do a heels class? Like, that sounds cute, right? Work on my calves and my thighs and, you know, strut my shit. So I get there, I get to the lobby, I sign in, everything looks normal. It's like a cute little, it's a cute studio. It's in LA. It's like the decor's nice, whatever, nice and modern. And everything's fine, everything's nice. I go sit down because I notice in the lobby they have a couch set up, and like almost every couch is taken by at least 1 or 2 people. So I was like, I'm not going to sit in there. But they have these bar stools and this countertop that wraps around behind it, and those were open, so I just sat up there. Obviously everybody sitting in this one couch area for the most part knew each other or knew somebody who knew somebody within that group, so it was all kind of a thing. And I really wasn't used to being in that type of environment where I put myself in a situation where I didn't know anybody, I didn't know anyone to socialize with, have anybody to, you know, check in with occasionally, you know, because even if I'm with a friend, we don't need to be talking 24/7. At least somebody to acknowledge, like, oh, this happened, and like, oh shit, I wasn't good at this part, you know. That was something that I realized I didn't have, like, in that moment. Because all I could think about was, one, all of these women who are, what looks like, are coming into my class, because we're all kind of like huddled outside the studio. They all are like beautiful. Their hair is perfect, like perfectly done. They all have makeup on and accessories, like earrings and things. And they all look great, like dressed wise. And then there's me, and I have no makeup on. My hair's like kind of done because I had a shoot earlier in the day, but it's not great. And I'm in a Gold's Gym t-shirt and some leggings with some socks over leggings, and I'm not even wearing normal ass heels tonight. I'm wearing like these booties. Like, okay. So yeah, I just felt so out of my element just from the jump. I was like, this is, and they all had the LA dancer audition faces where they're just, I can't even explain. They were very intense. They're ready to eat this class, chew it up, and spit it the fuck out. Like, you don't even understand. Like, this was just their typical Thursday night. I mean, obviously it is a typical Thursday night. Okay, so everyone sets their things down, starting to do warm-ups, stuff like that. It was really nice getting into warm-ups because warm-ups, it basically, because they're basically the same warm-ups that I was doing in high school, so I felt way more comfortable, way more in my element at that point, starting to regain my confidence in it. Like, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe, you know, I can get this done, because in the beginning I already wanted to cry because I don't know anybody. I'm so scared. Like, which is sad, but I'll get over it. So when the warm-up started, I started to feel like I'm getting reintroduced, and this is a good thing. My body basically remembers this as well. So this is gonna go well, it's gonna go smoothly. So we finished warm-ups, we started to do across the floors. After warm-ups, my stuff was in like the corner by the door. And so when I took my socks off, put them away, by my stuff, I stood up and basically just stood there and was like, okay, we're across the floor starting. Like, I don't know which side they're starting. And of course they're starting directly. They started exactly where the fuck I was. When you're taking a class, there's always the instructor's assistants, or like the assistant and their favorite. Not necessarily the favorite, but a regular student that they can depend on exerting the moves. You know, they can depend on them to really do what it is that they're asking of the class as far as the correct movement. Anyway, they're always first to demonstrate. They're demonstrators. They demonstrate whatever it is that you're doing across the floor, and they end up being the first person. The second is usually right back. Okay, so obviously the first people who go are the demonstrators, right? They demonstrate whatever the instructor is asking. And then people who end up being second end up being the ones who, you know, are confident enough to go after the people demonstrating, like, oh yeah, I really know what the fuck I'm doing, so you can watch me just as much as you watch the people who are demonstrating the class, who know exactly what they're doing. Like, I'm equally as confident as them. So I was not trying to be there. It was not what my intention was. And luckily, one of the girls who were a couple people behind me was like, I did not realize this was the front. I'm like, girl, me too. And I thought this was the back. Like, I honestly thought this was the back of the line. Luckily, it was just like these slow jazz walks. So I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. This is fine. And it worked. It was fine. It was cool. I got complimented. I was like, okay, cool. And it actually made me look like I knew what I was doing when I didn't. So then we get to the combo. The combo was fine. It was good to begin with. It was good. It was easy. I was chilling. I was like, okay, yeah, I get this. I can get the hang of it. And then it just got to the point where, because the class was so large and I was not used to being in that type of a classroom with so many students, and since I had strategically placed myself in the back beforehand, probably wasn't the best decision of mine. So I could barely see her, and it was harder for me to actually see or like mirror what she was doing, because I couldn't even see her through the mirror. So I was looking at other students who looked like they were doing it right and trying to get it off of that. Even then, trying to keep up entirely was not working out. I used to be a lot better at picking up choreography. It really was a humbling moment for me, because I remembered myself being a lot better than I am now, and I had high expectations for myself, even though I knew I should lower them. I felt really defeated at one point, because I kept skipping over one step. Obviously, I didn't know anybody either to really like sit and ask, and I didn't want to interrupt the class and be the slowest person, and so obviously the slowest person being the one to slow down the class and ask some questions, or continuously ask questions when everybody else can easily pick up the steps. It was just an intense moment of realization for me. So but I kept pushing through it. I had many moments in my mind where I was thinking, okay, in the next like 10 minutes I could easily leave. Like, I could easily just walk out. The class was big enough that I could have, and no one would have noticed. But I didn't. I was like, no, I'm gonna finish the class. I paid for it. I'm finishing this fucking class. And I did. Even during the groups, I was just, like, my last run after she split us up into groups, because I was in like the third class group, and you could tell she was strategically splitting up the groups according to their level, which was fine. Like, it made sense for me, because I completely understand. So I'm in the third class group, and that was probably the best time that I did it, because she did that so that the people who weren't at the same level, who were like a little further behind, could continuously watch these other dancers and watch them do the combo over and over again and really kill it and hit it hard. It made sense to me. So that was one thing that I definitely remember, at least after taking so many other classes, because if just watching other dancers really does teach you. That's a huge part of the process, because you can learn from their mistakes. You can learn from what they're doing correct as well and apply it to yourself. That's what I was doing, and I helped. By the end of it, when class was over, the class was so big, I can't handle it. Anyway, when the class was over, I went to go use the bathroom, so really to me. Then I decided, okay, you made it this far. Why not just stay after class and talk to her, like talk to the instructor, say hello, and introduce herself, because she did ask me my name when the time came to put me into the group, because it was like, you know, groups of like 5 maximum in front of the whole class, and she asked me my name, so I did somewhat introduce myself, so I went to go reintroduce myself. But of course, when I came back from the bathroom, I'm the last person in line, basically. Actually, I am at that point, so this is great. And I was just thinking about the entire experience and how I'd felt, what I'd learned, and I was just thinking, wow, it was just an overwhelming sense of, I don't know how to explain it. I was proud of myself for even taking the class, considering I knew how long it had been since I danced. I knew how scary it was to do it again after, you know, not even attempting really for such a long time. And then also the fact that I put myself in the position where I did something that scared me, which not very many people do. And I learned a lot from it. When I went to go meet the instructor afterwards, I was thinking about all these things at once, and I felt just, well, one, my period was coming, so it was inevitable, me getting hella emotional. Plus, I am a child. I'm always crying. But if you can hear shit in the background, it's because someone's fixing my sink, and my disposal's broken, so props that it's homie over here. Anyway, we were talking. She was like, "Hi, thank you so much for coming." She was so sweet. She was so sweet. And because she was so sweet, it made it so much harder for me to keep my shit together, really. So when she had me, she said, "Thank you," I just started crying. It's so embarrassing. And even thinking about it now, I'm like, oh my god, why are you crying? Why are you so, like, why is it feel so intense right now? Why is it that serious? Because it really shouldn't be that serious. But it's just when you let something as simple as, or something that seems as simple as, you know, just not knowing anybody, simple as that, just not knowing anybody in one particular aspect, if you let that stop you from doing anything that you enjoy doing, it's like, what? Why even put yourself in that position? Because you're already hindering yourself that much more than you previously had been. That experience was something that I really needed, and it really pushed me. The dancers there are incredible too. I was so inspired by them. It made me want to do better. It made me want to push myself even further. The instructor was phenomenal. She was beautiful. She was so lovely, so kind, and so polite to me, even though I started bawling in her face and I'm a complete stranger, so that must have been a very awkward experience for her, but she was very nice to me afterwards. So yeah, it was good. I mean, if anything, I just wanted to share this with other people because I've spent a lot of time in my own head, and not enough time expressing myself to others. And I know if you don't express yourself, you're not doing yourself and other people the justice that they deserve, because there are so many other people who may be experiencing the same thing you're experiencing and who don't either understand or can't put it into words, or just can't talk about it, but they want to feel like they have someone to relate to. So I hope, whether it's dance, whether it's something else, who knows, fuck it, just do it. Yeah, that's it for me. I'm gonna go wipe my face off now and put my nose. But I hope you guys like this video, this little chatty one. Hopefully it's not too long, so yes, I'll see you guys later in my next situation, whatever it may be. Alright, bye guys. Thanks for watching.